if you want to figure out how to overcome those challenges and whatever it may be in your life, rather than sitting in the problem, stand in your solution.
There's something called habit stacking. If you do this over 12 weeks, you develop maybe 1 or 2 good habits. Over a year, you can have 6 good ones. In 6, you're in a completely different environment emotionally, mentally, and financially.
Welcome again, you guys, to another episode of Living Your Vision, where we overcome our primitive fears, create positive habits so we can live the life we're meant to live. All right, rock and roll. All right, cool, very good. Thanks for coming out today and watching, you guys. I appreciate it. All right, so our guest today, Tony Lopez, is going to talk to us a little bit about goals and tactics and the difference between the two and how you get to your goal using tactics. So I want to talk about that too, because a lot of times we run into a situation where we know what we want, right? We're really clear on the vision of the goal. Anyone have beautiful goals in life and real clear on the vision, but we get stuck on how to get there? Or we run into a problem, right? And we've got something that's in front of us that's keeping us from moving, right? And what do we typically do, right? Caveman mind kicks in, and what does it do? It makes us stop taking action because that's a goal. The problem becomes bigger than the goal. It's like we're sitting at the bottom of a mountain and we're looking up like, how am I going to get up there? And that's what, our primitive mind's all about, survival. And so in the moment, you're all sitting here in these seats today because what you've done up to this point has kept you alive, so everything's okay. So it doesn't want to move into that place of fear. It wants to stay right where you're at because taking those risks is scary. So what I've learned is that if you want to figure out how to overcome those challenges and whatever it may be in your life, rather than sitting in the problem, stand in your solution. So Sean, come on up. I have Sean come up here. I'm going to talk about that. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for being on the show. All right, good. So what I mean by that is I had to hike a mountain with my brother. We had to hike Mount Shasta. And we went through all this crazy stuff to get there, and it was stressful and anxiety. But I remember getting to the top of that mountain and looking down and saying, wow, that was pretty easy. So the key here is start from your vision of your outcome and look back at your challenges. Okay? So you have something that you have a challenge with?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a business off the ground with a couple of colleagues and just stepping out into the world post a master's. So trying to organize everyone that are sort of in different places.
Mm-hmm. So what's the biggest challenge you've got with that right now?
I think honoring my own growth as like a sole individual, as well as each of the other 3 people that I'm working with, as well as still having focused direction within the collaborative of our business.
So in other words, it sounds to me like everyone's kind of going in a different direction kind of thing, or what's the
levels? So certain people are already, let's say, out into the career world. Some people are still in school, but for the business in itself, we are all taking the venture together.
Good. And so how is your current situation keeping you from moving forward?
I think it's a big part of trying to allocate time. So who's investing a certain amount into what is we all see as valuable versus what we all each need to do in our own lives.
So the current problem right now is who's going to invest the time and how can you get this done, and everyone's doing different things. Right. I got that? Okay, good. Everyone here got a goal in mind, something they're working on, a challenge that they've got for a goal. Now, close your eyes. All right. Everyone close your eyes, take a deep breath, get centered. Exhale. Now, imagine yourself in that point of success. Imagine your business being awesome and being fantastic. And imagine yourself in your workspace, wherever you are succeeding and you're there with your business partners and you're in that place. Everyone else here, imagine your success. Feel it. Hear it. Smell it. Doesn't it feel good? Now, you're sitting in your success, Sean, and sitting in that office or wherever you may be enjoying your success, look back on this challenge that you're currently experiencing and think to yourself, how did I solve that challenge? Did you come up with some solutions? Okay, open your eyes. What were they?
To really just do what I can do personally and allow the others to find the time when they need to, and not necessarily worrying about organizing or forcing people in situations that I create expectations for. So simply doing whatever my part can be.
Isn't that beautiful? It's that simple. You know, you stand there from your success and you look back and say, what was my challenge? Oh, it's much easier because you're already successful. Whereas when we're at the bottom of the hill looking up, it's scary. So take a minute, and that's it. I do this all the time. Take a minute, stand in your success. You guys ever do creative visualization? You ever heard of that? No. I'll talk about that in more episodes, but you start from what your visualization is and how good it feels, and then look at what actions you take. But that's it. Real quick, 2-step process. Stand in the solution, in the very top of your goal, your success, and look back on that challenge, and you'll be amazed at the kind of solutions pop up. Very good. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming up. All right, go ahead and have a seat. All right. All right, so without much ado, I'm going to bring on Tony. I'm going to talk to Tony a little bit about his business. So come on up, Tony.
What's up?
All right, everybody give Tony a hand.
Thank you.
All right, so this is Tony Lopez, right?
Tony Lopez.
All right, so Tony, tell us a little bit about your story. What do you do?
So I'm a business coach, and that came from 12 years of being in financial services, and I was just no longer happy. I was no longer happy. It was no longer in my heart, and it was because I was chipping away at my integrity by doing what was in the best interest of my corporate company and not myself. I was doing things that I thought made me happy, but not listening to my body on what viscerally would make me happy. So my compass was up here and not down here. And in doing that, I just ended up having a ton of resentment for everyone. And that leaked completely into my personal life. I resented my friends. I couldn't even talk to my mom. And it was all because I was doing about what I thought would make me happy, not what my heart was telling me.
That's good stuff. That's why the name of the show is Living Your Vision. And it's in all caps because we spend so much of our time trying to fulfill someone else's dream for us. And we're unhappy and miserable. And that's fantastic. So tell me, how do you coach people? And you do business coaching mainly, or tell me about your coaching?
Yeah, it's business coaching. So there's a few models. The first one is out to my community, and it's free coaching. We jump together on calls every Monday at 3:15, and that's where we, as a group, share what we want to focus on and accomplish that week, and get together every 90 days and reflect on how that went. So that's purely complimentary. Now, the deep dive happens on the what happens between Monday and Friday, and that's my one-on-one personal coaching that I do for my business owners. They can choose to do that just individually with me, or what we do is group them with like-minded entrepreneurs that have similar revenues, similar level of employees. That way they can network amongst themselves. A lot of times I find them share clients with each other. So my intention there is to create a network and alignment with other individuals that are heading in the same direction.
Okay. So other business owners. So tell me about what's a struggle that a business owner is going through that you could really help them with, or something that you've helped someone with in the past.
Everyone's going to be personal and what is their single biggest challenge. I'll just again reference myself. It was the need for approval. That I had no confidence. I was very insecure. And that I was seeking happiness completely outside and had no confidence at that time to be completely fulfilled and happy with the man that I was at that point. With my clients, I mean, it's usually maybe self-worth conversation, mostly around revolving money. Do I deserve this wealth and this abundance that's coming my way? And it's really about breaking down those beliefs that may have prevented them from reaching those high levels of success, and really dissecting what habits did I create that has caused some disalignment with, that's caused them or myself to live in an environment of scarcity versus abundance.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's what this show's about, right? It's about that scarcity and not living the life that we're meant to live, because feel like we've got to fulfill someone else's, vision for our lives, and we're not doing what we really, really care about. Yeah. And I think that's beautiful. Are you ready to share some of your tools with them? You can talk about some goals and tactics?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. All right, well, I'm going to give it over to Tony. Let's give Tony a hand.
Some of you that have been able to connect with me know that I'm a big fan of this one tool that I've been using in my career for 10 years. And I use this tool with entrepreneurs that have been typically getting started in their first 5 years in the business. So whatever they're doing. And this is what I've seen have the best results. And I'll give you context as to why. It's called the 12-week year. It's by Brian Moran. They studied Olympic athletes. Okay? So if you look at the Olympics, it happens one every 4 years. Why is it that you have some of these Olympians that consistently show up every 4 years for like 20 years? It was the way they viewed the world. And they did not view the world in a calendar year. They had no such thing as 12 months. They didn't live by that. They only lived in this 12-week year or 90 days. That's all there was. And what they found is that these individuals had urgency. So they had a goal, and there was a lot of urgency in getting to where they want to be. So we all have goals, right? So maybe you can think about a professional or personal goal that you may have right now. So just write that goal in your journal. So we'll write it right here, what that goal is. Okay? So the goal could be, for me, let's just say making $10,000 per month of reoccurring income. That would be nice, right? Write your goal and why is that, think about why is that important? Now the follow-up part is, okay, that's my goal. What do I got to do to get there? This is where the success was created. This is what made the Olympians champion athletes, gold medalists, is that they focused on the tactics that they could control. The little things that make the village run. Your village, your vision. There's a proverb that said, chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. You need to chop wood, carry water in order to make the village run. There's a magic formula here. I want to give this to the world. I want to share this with everyone so they can do what they want and be happy. Okay? So one of the people in our coaching program, Becca, I'll have you come up. Let's work through this, and you all can look at the goal, and maybe this can provide some clarity as, all right, am I clear and concrete on what the difference is between the goal and the tactic? Okay? Yes. So what's a goal that you have for your business?
All right. By the end of March this year, I want us to be hitting 300,000 visits a month.
300,000 visits a month. That's all. Why is that important?
It's important because it will generate enough income to sort of let me bring in more content and more content creators and sort of take us to the next level.
So acquire more team members to allow exponential growth in your business.
It'll help us create that hockey stick effect.
Amen. Okay, that sounds great. 300,000 visits. Okay, so I don't know anything about this world, right? I don't know anything about creating websites, but I know that this is a great recipe that can be applied in any industry. With 300,000 visits, what's a tactic that you feel that you need to be doing on a daily or weekly basis to get there?
In terms of the carry wood?
Carry wood, chop water,
sure.
carry wood.
We need to be publishing at least 5 articles a week.
Okay. Publish.
Yep. At least 5 pieces of content a week.
5 articles. Is that something that you can control? You can control. What can get in the way? Just time.
Time.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. So you can block and tackle in your calendar on when you're going to publish 5 articles per week. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So what other tactics do you need to reach 300 visits?
We can make sure that we share that content on social media and on our various other channels.
Okay. So it's your own personal channels. You can control that because you're in control of those channels. Okay. So share it.
Yes. What
Share
we can't
it
do
with-
is see if people actually engage with it. That we don't have as much
You
control
don't have
over.
control of that.
Correct.
But you can cast that
Yes.
that net wider. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Okay, good. Perfect. Give me one more.
Oh, this is where we're struggling a little bit.
Okay.
Is like
Usually it takes 3. So it takes 3 to get to the juicy tactic that you really need.
I need help. So I need someone else to sort of take on some of the workload so that I can keep going out and doing technical things like, making sure that we're integrating. I can bring on a business partner. is probably a big.
So you need support. You need another human hours. You need a person.
Yes.
Okay, so this is good because one of the things that I'm going to call straddle this goal that's necessary to make this a reality is asking people for an introduction for someone that might be aligned with your vision in your business.
Correct.
So you need a referral.
Yes.
Right? You need to be referred talent
Yes.
to help you to get to where you want to be.
Correct.
Okay, so that's where you end up diving deeper in your recipe of your juicy cake that you're creating in the next goal, because that's not a tactic. See how we dissected that? That would be a goal, is adding a team member. Super important. I see that where that's a breakdown and failure most of the time is someone consider attracting a new team member a tactic. That's not a tactic. That's a new goal that's going to support the overall vision of 300 visits. I want to just break down and give you clarity on the difference between tactics. Tactics is something that you can control, okay? And something that you can commit to on a daily or weekly basis. My invitation to everyone here is start small. You just do like one tactic every week or day if you want that you're committed to. And then like my good friend Pasha taught me, there's something called habit stacking. If you do this over 12 weeks, you develop maybe 1 or 2 good habits. Over a year, you can have 6 good ones. In 6, you're in a completely different environment emotionally, mentally, and financially.
All right. Tony, thank you, man. All right, so hold on. Stay up here. Beautiful. So that's great stuff. And that's what this whole program is about. It's like building habits, right? Building on little habits, little things you can control, because we can't control the outcome, right? We can't control the big thing, but we can control our actions. And that's where, again, the caveman mind kicks in. It's like, oh, I can't get to that goal. It's too big, but it doesn't matter. Let go of the result. Stay focused on the actions you can take every day, just little tiny baby ones. That's some good stuff, man. So I appreciate it. All right. So thank you very much. I appreciate you showing up. How can we get a hold of you?
TheResponsibleLeader.org, and you have a complimentary one-on-one consultation. Most of the time, I just point you in the right direction, whether it's just get a book or you got to meet this person. Other times, it means a deeper dive.
Beautiful. All right, great. And you can catch me at getintentional.com with a dash between the get and the intentional. And I'm on Instagram at @1JimmyGreen. And thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, you can live your vision by overcoming those fears one habit at a time. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Woo!